Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. On today's show, we're talking about the tipping point of home valuations. This is really a discussion about situational awareness. It's important to be aware of your surroundings. Most people would not walk alone in a dark alley in a rough part of town. It might be too difficult to have complete situational awareness to know whether that's a safe move or not. The same situational awareness that would help keep you safe in a dark alley is what you need to stay safe as a real estate investor. I'm starting to see an increasing number of people who are baffled by the rapid rise in home prices. The biggest factor affecting home supply is the lack of willingness to move. I hear the same refrain over and over again. I love my neighborhood. If I sell, I can get a great price for my house, but where will I go? I can't buy back into the same area at a reasonable price. If I sell, I would have to move to a less expensive area. Well, this week I had a conversation with a homeowner in Dallas who said his house has gone up in value by almost $400,000 in the last 2 years. He's willing to buy even a larger house on some acreage in a less expensive area and cash out, put the spare change in his pocket and put the money to work. A large family move is a daunting project. I'm hearing people who are contemplating making these moves or have outright made the decision to move. One or two of these are interesting, but trends are the result of thousands of small independent decisions. See, real estate markets are inefficient. They're slow moving because people don't move quickly. People move slowly. Real estate has always been about location, location, location. The question is, what does that really mean? The definition is secular. It means different things to different people. For one person, location means walking distance to their favorite coffee shop and grocery store. For someone else, it means being close to their family members, and for another, they want a view of the water and as much distance as possible to their closest neighbor. It used to be the case that distance to work was the primary factor in deciding where to live, and that's still going to be a major factor for the majority of the population. The number of jobs that are truly location independent still make up a small minority of the working population. It's a growing minority, but it's still a minority. When you consider the cost of construction, it varies widely. Volume home builders get efficient pricing because they get to build 50 or 100 homes all at once. The framing crew moves from one foundation to the next every few days. They don't need to remobilize and move heavy equipment from one job site to the next. So the startup costs, which are expensive, can add up to 10 to 20% of the total cost of a project. There's some substantial savings. So if you want to build that rural house by the lake, you can expect to pay more than if you were building one of 50 houses all together in a single subdivision. As the economy opens up, I believe we're going to start to see some mobility within the population. It's been far below the annual averages over the past year of the pandemic. As people start to move, you will start to see more inventory of homes for sale coming into the market. The lack of inventory of existing homes for sale has been one of the largest driving factors for the rapid increase in prices. Demand for houses is due to household formation and low interest rates. They've both created a fear of missing out for new home buyers. New home buyers have been priced out of home ownership in a lot of markets as prices have risen. So when you look at the rapid increase in prices, coupled with the virtual freeze-on movement, that's been the story of the pandemic, I have to stand up and take notice. When I know half a dozen people personally who are actively looking at rural acreage, I have to stand up and take notice to that. This is not a scientific survey by any means, but it's a significant data point, and I can't ignore data points like this. I know there's something happening here. I'm seeing migration in play. I'm talking to realtors who are looking for new supply, and they're looking further afield for that new supply. I'm talking to other developers who are seeing new demand in areas where demand was light in the past. I'm seeing the cost of new construction favor the renovation of existing properties for a fraction of the cost compared with new construction. See, the housing market's inefficient, and when market conditions change, then so too the strategy needs to change with it. What made sense a year ago might not make sense today. I've seen a lot of investors get caught in the crosshairs of changing market conditions. It's even happened to me. Recognizing the change and having the courage to adapt to the new current reality on the ground is the key to being successful. Those investors who say, I'm a flipper, or I'm a land developer, or I'm an apartment investor, or a retail commercial investor, they will encounter a period of time at some point in their history when the market conditions are working against that specific strategy. Without reading any market reports and just paying attention to situational awareness on the ground, I'm telling you right now, the times they are a-changing. As you think about that, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.